Hello Stephen, thanks for joining us to have a wee chat before the season starts on Friday night. We'll just start off with probably a question for you personally. Did you have a good close season after last year's efforts?
I did. It took me a week or two just to shake it all out of my system. You know, to go as hard as we went for, you know, over a 40-week campaign, and to sort of lead the championship as long as we led it. And you're leading from the front every week, people coming at you, and to hold off as long as we held off, and to lose it in the manner we did, it takes a bit out of you for a day or two, and then you had a game the week after while you were still needing to win and hope something else would go in your favour. So we still had a lot of concentration that needed to be put into the Dunavon game, and you were trying to put a brave face on for everybody, but the sense of disappointment was overwhelming, really. And so it was good for me just to get away from it. You know, a couple of weeks later I got away for a game of golf in Portugal for 5 days, chilled out, and then pretty much, you know, a lot of work was ongoing behind the scenes with the players that we were chasing, and you know, sometimes that's a 6-month process, and so you're trying to think in your head what you need to improve on, where you feel that the faults lie, and just trying to make us competitive and better for what's ahead of you, because it's a very fast-moving game, football, and you don't really have an awful lot of time to sit and mope. You've got to very quickly work out what's wrong.
Well, you answered part of the next question. What does a manager do to relax in downtime, or do you have downtime in charge of Crusaders?
You get very little downtime, you know. Even when you're going away on a trip for 5 days, you know, you still have phone calls that are going on, you still meetings to be had, maybe you're over the phone, and we were actually saying Brian Jensen on my first day over in Portugal, so that deal came to fruition on those dates. So there's always things going on, and you have to stay on top of it. So I'm only ever a phone call away generally from various things. So whilst you're trying to get some downtime, it's not complete downtime.
Well, again, we'll just move on then to the European games. Devastated naturally not to progress, but did the team get anything out of those ties, and what does the management team get out of it?
We get everything out of it that we're looking for, because it's probably my favourite time of year is the European game, because one, you're playing opposition that are generally much higher level than you, so you have to pit your wits against them, and two, we're coming back in, having been away for a while, so the pre-season buzz starts again, you get among the boys, and then you're trying to integrate all the new players into the group. So the trip across to Europe is always brilliant for that, and then we get a chance, you know, you've been on the trip so you see what we do. We get a chance to spend maybe 3 or 4 hours in nearly like a classroom environment, trying to talk through our systems and what we want and how we move that forward. So European football is fabulous for the club financially, and also fabulous for us as a management, to get to know all our players and to restructure and do different things that we want to do, and then play against generally a very good opposition, which is brilliant.
How's pre-season going? Played 6, including the Ballatown game, scored 19 goals, only 1 goal let in. Again, what's the benefits of these games?
Most of these games are fitness levels. We're not playing against opposition generally who are good enough to beat us. Just the way pre-season is nowadays, to get the top clubs to come across is too costly, and therefore it's a waste of money. So we have to make do with the opposition that we get, and get what we want out of those games. And we just felt playing the games at Seaview was better for us. So we were worried about some of the pitches that we went to play in over the last few years. Took a lot of injuries, sometimes very major injuries, leg breaks and likes, and so playing at Seaview was a benefit to us. And then boys feeling a good touch and plenty of the ball, scoring a lot of goals, it lifts confidence and gets everybody ready to play. And so I'm pleased with what we've done. We've obviously the 2 European games were brilliant for us, and in many ways a little disappointed we didn't progress. But we got enough out of what we were looking for in pre-season.
Again, new signings, you've already mentioned a couple there. How have they settled in?
Well, I think some of them very experienced. People like Mark McChrystal's been around a lot, talks a lot. So at 33, he settles in very, very quickly, as is Brian Jensen. People like Jamie Glacken at 21 still find his feet, maybe a little bit overawed by some of the big stars that are in this football club. And, so some of them take a little bit longer, others settle in quickly. But their football talent really is what we're looking for, and how they operate. And I think you see that in early doors with people like Glacken, who's just fabulous ability off both feet and good pace and quality. We've obviously got Colin Coates and Skimmer, Philip Lowry back after long-term injury, and looking very sharp in pre-season. So they're all shaping up well, Michael, and we're pleased with the balance of the squad. And now we've got to put the long campaign to the test and see where it takes us.
For example, how's Brian adapted to coming to Irish League football from what the career that he's had?
I don't think he's been really tested. You know, obviously the European games he did particularly well out there. I thought he made 2 or 3 very smart saves, and he made one very smart save here. Brian's vast experience, you know, everything you see around Brian is very professional, the level he played. But he hasn't been tested with the pre-season games. I don't think he had a shot on Saturday to save, and I don't know if Ballyclare got a shot away in the game. So still a wee bit more to go in terms of seeing Brian up close and personal, but I know by the early stuff that we've seen that he will be top drawer for us.
And Mark McChrystal coming back from full-time football as well. Obviously captain of Bristol Rovers at one stage as well.
Yeah.
How do you think he'll adapt to the rigours of the Irish League?
I think again, I haven't seen the pre-season. You know, he's a footballing centre half, likes to pass the ball, and he'll quickly work out that sometimes you can't pass it in the Irish League, sometimes you've got to go and meet it. But he'll adapt to that quickly. You know, he's been around a few clubs. That lower end of the division in England is a wee bit like our league, I think. So I think Mark will very quickly settle into the rigours of Irish League football. So on balance, I'm pleased with the squad, pleased with the size of the squad, and now it's up to them to fight for their place.
Anybody else coming in?
No, our business is all done. We definitely won't sign anybody else. I think we've 4 or 5 signings now in, and I think we only had 3 or 4 goals. So no, I'm fairly happy with what we have.
Right, going on to the start of the Danske Bank Premiership. First 4 games, away to Ballymena, home to Warren Point, home to Coleraine, and away to Cliftonville. All hard starts, but all winnable.
I think any Crusaders team that take the field nowadays has got an expectation to win the game. So I'd look at that on paper and say they're all tough games, and they are. But at the same token, they're very tough games for the opposition, and they'll not fancy playing us either. So. You know, I don't get too far ahead of it. You know, we will. You know, I'm looking currently at the first week of the season. You know, we've got 3 games in a week, and that's we'll go that direction with it, because you might pick an injury or 2 up, and then we'll just see where we go. And so my whole concentration and focus on Ballymena, and then we'll switch that to the Warren Point game, and then Coleraine here. But tough opening day. We didn't get any points up there in the 2 games last year. So let's hope we get something from the game on Saturday to set us up for 2 home games where we're generally very, very strong.
As a manager, what goes into planning for each week?
Whoa. You don't have long enough for me to explain this. This is my 3rd meeting, and this is only a training night. Preparation is all week long. Everything that we will think around in the Ballymena game will be focused around training. Jeff and I will have several meetings about what we're actually working on in training towards the game. We'll have video analysis that will have been sent to us. We will have Stephen Livingstone, our scout guide, to watch and bring us back some reports. So we then have to transfer all that information to players. We have to think about what they're eating, what they're doing away from the ground, how we plan for the match day, and then that routine all starts all over again. You know, we'll have a DVD sent to us on Monday morning for Warren Point, and then we'll break it all down and then go through it all again and get our So that side of the game is becoming bigger, but ultimately there's probably 20 hours of preparation going behind the scenes for a game.
Final couple of questions. You said in the paper over the weekend that you never look back, only forward. Have you always had that philosophy in your career?
Absolutely. You know, for me, in any walk of life and whatever you're doing, you can only play the moment. You don't get a second chance in life. You can't go back and think, oh, what if, and if only. It doesn't work for me. You know, no excuses. Whatever happened, happened. If your best wasn't good enough, then go away and reflect and try and make it better. So there's no time for dwelling on past, even past glories. You know, you get that opportunity to go and win something, you enjoy that celebration, you enjoy the moment, and then it's generally head down after the next day, and the preparation start all over again. And that's so you can only deal with what's in front of you.
And finally, a message for Crusaders supporters, and they're on dance support week in, week out. What's the plans for the next lot of months?
Well, the plans are for them to be here every week and to bring a friend. One of the huge encouragements for us has been the amount of people that are now coming through our turnstiles. It was a 1,250 average gate for home games. It was phenomenal, you know, and I would love to see it up to 2,000. I'd like to see more banners. I'd like to see hear more singing. Backing the team, really encouraging the team to do well, getting that roar if you like, because that really lifts people. And when we see good numbers of people here, it really spurs everybody on. And so I would encourage all our fans to come to as many games as possible and bring some friends and really make it happen and make a lot of noise when they get here.
Thank you very much, Stephen, and good luck.
Pleasure.